Good day, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe. The Wizard of Oz never did give anything to the Tin Man that he didn't already have. When the curtain was pulled back, everyone realized that the Wizard of Oz did not have the power. They had just given their power away. If you're willing to research and seek the truth, you will find the truth and you will be set free. We are at the point of danger or opportunity. Action or reactions, you decide. The danger lies in looking for answers with a fearful mind. I want you to look your children and your grandchildren in the eyes and tell them why you stood by and did nothing to preserve their God-given right to freedom and the future of endless possibilities. Once you rise above the fear, you will find your true self and your God-given purpose to thrive, not just to survive, but put aside fear and stop focusing on consequences. The greatest game is being played out right now. The greatest game in history is being played out right now. So for you, it's truth or consequences. What will be your legacy? You are an infinite being, so act like it and get off your knees. Ask yourself these questions right now. What are the consequences of us taking everything they're forcing down our throat without question? Think about this, and then ask yourself, what are the consequences of us not allowing them to force anything down our throats until we decide that we can digest it and that it has been what? Bathed in total love and truth. Do not allow anyone to impose fear on you. Nothing can stop you when fear is no longer your focus. Remember what fear stands for: false evidence appearing real. Everyone is drowning in solutions. What's the solution, Dr. Wolfe? What is it? There's only one solution. You are the only real solution to the spiritual pollution. When you uncover your authentic self and get off your knees, stop being told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, when you don't even want to do it. The real problem is the illusion of power in others and not knowing that we have the power within inside of ourselves. And guess what? That it's always been there. So welcome to today's show, because isn't it a show? We put a show on every day. What kind of show are you putting on? Remember something. You're the star of this show, your show. You're the director. You're the writer. You're the producer. So you get to decide today. You get to decide with every moment whether your life is going to be a drama, a tragedy, or it's going to be a love story that has a great adventure to it. And you become the hero. And you just not only save yourself, but you save your family. You become the light for your family. Welcome to Survive or Thrive. So today is Transformation Day. But you're going to have to make the decision that it is. You're going to have to make the decision that you're going to connect to your breath, that you're not going to even look at consciousness. You're going to look at super consciousness. You're going to look at what created you and what you were created for. And you're going to understand that your imagination is your GPS. And you're going to have to learn how to use it. And you're going to have to kick it in today. What are you going to do today to empower yourself, empower your family, and let them know that you got this? Not let them know that you lost this. Understand something. Welcome to planet Earth, a fun-filled, life-challenging, life-threatening game for the whole family. But you've got to know the rules. You've got to learn the rules. You have to know the players, because you want to win this game every single day for your family. You said that you could come down here. You said that you could opt into this game, that you could lose your spirit, lose your power, but then you would take it back. Welcome to planet Earth. Welcome to this life challenging, fun-filled game. And understand something, everyone. Monsters, Inc. is real. I'm going to tell you that right now. There is a whole elite group and sector. Tell me that they don't live off your pain and suffering. Tell me they're not after your children. Tell me that they're not making everyone feel that they're small and keeping us all in this little box. But understand something. Do you know what they fear the most? That you are going to find your authentic self and unleash your power today and be the hero that you're looking for. That is their greatest fear. So, what we think we are and what we are is two different things. You think that you are just a spiritual being. Oh, I screwed it up. What do I do now? Do I just leave from this slide and go to this one? Can you do the cut?
Yeah, let's go from
Monsters, Inc. in here. Yeah. I'll get it. And then we'll just go to here, right?
Yep.
What we think we are, what we really are two different things. What they want you to think is that you are a physical, limited being. You're not. You're a light energy, electromagnetic being with infinite potential. You have more potential than the people that are ruling this world right now. Because guess what? We are higher consciousness. We do have faith, but now we must have belief in ourselves. Understand this. Do you understand that the greatest part of you is spirit? But if you don't know how to what? Master your emotions? Then guess what? Then your mind will become a landmine. And when that happens, wherever the mind goes, the body follows, and your body will become full of disease, contamination, and conflict. But what you don't understand is that every human being on this planet has a unique fingerprint on their cells. I don't know what you think. Some people don't believe in spirit. But guess what? You came here with your spirit. You're going to leave here with your spirit. Nobody really dies. And the reality is, as long as you have negative emotions, as long as you have fear, and as long as you have hate, you stop your spirit from coming into your cells. So you will never live your greatest potential. On everyone's cells, there is a unique antenna, a unique blueprint, and it allows your unique spirit to keep flowing in 24/7. But when you feel fear and hatred and anger and loneliness and sadness and depression and anxiety, that spirit doesn't come in, and you lower your vibration. And they know this. They've studied this. They're using our power against us. Listen, you are our human solar panel. Right now, you're locked up in the house. You need to get out of the house. Even if you get on your porch, you need to get that sunlight on your skin. Take as much clothes off as you can. Open up your eyes. Sun gaze in the morning. Get connected to your breath. Never forget this. We are dynamic energy systems, okay? We are walking, talking batteries. And when you feel you have no energy, you are stopping your spirit from entering your cells. Because if you do not feed the spirit, you will never heal the body. And understand something. You think it's because you don't eat enough that you don't have energy. But what's really happening is you're eating yourself. You're eating yourself up. You're not allowing that spirit to come in and to fill up your cells and to bring your vibration up. Listen, do you know what the real you is? You are 99.99999999996 light energy. That's what you are. The physical part of you is only 0.00000000004% physical matter. So understand something. The invisible creates the physical. The invisible is what you truly are, and it's your potential. You can never forget this. And let me prove my point. If you were to take all the empty space out of all the particles that you're made out of, that's 7 billion people on this planet. If we took all the empty space out of all the particles that everyone is made out of, we would fit into one sugar cube. You need to wrap your head around this. Your potential is unlimited, just like the universe. All right, the human body. The human body consists of 7 octillion atomic particles. Do you get this? Now listen to this. Atomic particles become molecules. Molecules become cells. Tissues become organs, and organs become systems, and that creates the body. And you actually think that you're solid. None of these atomic particles are touching. They're vibrating together because we are electromagnetic, light energy beings. And when you don't tap into the greater part of yourself and you only use your 5 senses, there's no common sense. Because the greatest part of you is your spirit. And I already said that it's unlimited. Please, go take a look at my library. Go read the Energy Medicine Guide. Go watch the videos. Go take a look at what structured water is. Go read 5G, blue light toxicity. Open up your mind. If you're not willing to take 30 to 45 minutes every day to research how to become the master of your mind and your body, then someone else owns it. Nobody owns me. Nobody's ever going to own me. I am not going to humble myself down in front of any man or woman. I will humble myself down in front of my Creator because I have been given everything. And I am going to remember that I am everything every day and that I have unlimited potential. Listen, this is how it works for me anyways. True practitioners don't create more clients. They create more practitioners. I do not want to treat people. I want to train people that they can become the masters of their mind, the masters of their body. Everything that I know and everything that I do, they can do. God created us, and anything that anybody tells you that you can't do is a lie. Your potential is unlimited. There is no one that towers over you. We are all equal, no matter what color, what race, what we eat, what we preach. And we should allow each other to have our own beliefs because that's what makes this planet special. But understand something. Until you want to become the practitioner, until you want to become your own doctor, and know that you cannot break universal law, you cannot break nature's law without paying. So everything I'm about is about giving you your power back. Not looking up to me, but looking at me. Giving you everything. This is why I created the Doc of Detox library. This is why I tell everyone to email me at quickstart@docofdetox.com, and I'll give you the 7 empowering steps. But if you're not willing, or you do not have enough love for yourself, or you believe that loving yourself is a sin, then you're never going to win. So understand something. Today we need to create practitioners, not clients. We cannot go from treatment to treatment. We must be trained. What are you going to pass down to your children so they can pass down to their children? Fear or faith? You decide. Next week, I will be doing clapping your lungs and health. Clapping your lungs and heart for health. Clapping your lungs and heart for health. Order a clapper from my website. And if you don't want to do it, we've got hands. Use those. But I will be teaching you this. And then I'm going to be doing one part of the body. And I'm going to show you that you've got issues in your tissues. And I'm going to show you that you've got a microcirculation problem. I'm going to show you that, guess what? Everything starts off in the invisible, then goes to the visible. Everything starts off as the invisible and creates the physical. And that we need to change our mind. We need to change our personality to create a new reality. But we need to bring up our circulation. And that clapping and patting yourself and taking massive personal action to go in there to unleash the physical blocks that bind you, that cause you to feel stiff, that cause you to feel pain, that are growing the fibroids, the tumors, that is causing the arthritis, that's causing the breathing problems, the mucus congestion, the inflammation, the irritation, the calcification, the scar tissue formation, the crystallization. Take your power back. Become the greatest practitioner by unleashing your power. It's inside of you. It's inside of everyone. So, we are an inflammation nation. And we have issues in our tissues. Because guess what? Those that control the planet now, which are only a handful of people compared to us, they knew that if they could program us, because guess what? You don't realize. The subconscious mind is 90% of your mind. And that the subconscious mind only houses prominent beliefs. And if those prominent beliefs are negative, low vibrational, and you don't even know this, did you know that if you repeated something 10,000 times with your heart and you made it a prominent belief, your whole life would change? Did you know that you have to change your personality or you'll never change your reality? Did you know that your subconscious doesn't care if your beliefs are negative or positive or if they're killing you or healing you? Because it only has one job, to store beliefs. And what is the beliefs that we're getting right now from the media and from those that are in power? Is that we have no power. That God has created a dysfunctional human being in the majority of the population. God does not create junk. Man does. Because mankind is not kind. He's a manipulator. And you need to get this. And you will get this in the next hour and a half. I promise you. So remember something. We are an inflammation nation. 92% of the population has what? Autoimmune disease, which means we're attacking ourselves. How could you attack yourself on a physical basis and not already be attacking yourself on a mental one? Okay? First you have a sick mind, then you have a sick body. Listen, when I do math, it's 1 and 1 or 2, not 11. You're sitting at home right now and you're going, honey, that doesn't add up. Yeah, but honey, I'm so scared, I don't want to think. Well, you better. You better. Okay, let me tell you something. That which created the universe gave you everything. Live breaking news, false evidence appearing real. All right? If you're not going to stay off the TV, if you're going to watch the news, I guarantee you, you'll be so scared you don't want to live anymore. Wow. Do you know what it takes to make people feel this scared? Do you think this has anything to do with reality? That's what fear is. False evidence appearing real. And guess what? The greatest terrorist in your life is actually your mind. It's now a landmine. And understand something. We all want to be stimulated. But why don't you learn to stimulate yourself through total self-love, total self-respect, total protection, total honor? Why do you go and stimulate yourself every day and get your adrenals to pump out cortisol and adrenaline and histamine? It's just like acidic acid eating away your mind and your body. Why do you do this? I'll tell you why you do this. Because welcome to the age of anxiety and conflict. You're going to tell me that most people don't feel like this is what's going on right now? All right? First, we have a war zone in our mind, and then we're going to have one outside our mind if we don't learn to change the program. It's as simple as that. But understand something. We let it go too long. Okay? All right? You stayed on the couch too long. You sat there too long. You didn't take action for yourself. You didn't take action for your family. So now guess what? They're using the 3 T's against us. What? Toxic thoughts? You tell me that's not causing trauma? Do you think they're not traumatizing our children? I don't want to get into that today. But your children aren't traumatized right now? You better watch it when you start speaking around your children. You better be talking that there's a brave new world ahead, okay? And that we got this. Don't you traumatize your children just because you're being traumatized. And even if it was true, why can't you give yourself peace of mind and give your children peace of mind? Why can't you be the light? Why do you have to be the darkness? So what happens is toxic thoughts cause traumatic things in our mind, don't they? And then what happens when you're traumatized? Do you make a salad? Do you go for a walk? Do you thank God for everything you ever have? Are you living in gratefulness right now? Gratitude? No. You go for a cigarette. You go for a beer. You go for the wine. You go for junk food. Or you don't even hydrate. You don't drink any structured water, less water. Because guess what? If I didn't like a plant, I wouldn't water it either. I'd just let it die. So unless you're going to get into total self-love, you're going to be a total wreck. The fix is in, isn't it? The fix is in. That's all I'm going to say. So understand something. The government that you're listening to right now, they approved what? Vaping, cigarettes, prescription drugs that are toxic, that take more lives than almost anything else on the planet. What else do they approve? GMOs. What else do they approve? Roundup and glyphosate. What else do they approve of? Oh, they approve of dairy, which is the most inflammatory food that causes more cancer than any other food. I could keep going here and keep bantering, but the reality is your government doesn't work for you. When we see that 80% of kids in middle school are vaping. Why do they make everything so easy? Please, please. It is time. It is time to rise. You know what? This is a time of great opportunity. This is a time to actually grow consciously because that's the only way to grow. All right? Don't lose your mind. Oh, wait a minute. You already have. You already have lost your mind. Let me ask you a question. Are you going to be the smallest percentage of the population? You do know that there was a major study done and the major part of the population only experiences joy 2 to 5% a day. And now that was before this happened. So now guess what's happening? Where's your joy? So now your vibration's coming down. So now when your vibration comes down, what do you feel? You can't breathe properly. Can you? When you're depressed, you can't breathe properly. And when your vibration comes down, the lower your vibration goes, the closer it gets to what? Viruses, bacteria, and fungus. So create an inner terrain in your body that vibrates at the level of a bug, and you'll be full of them. And understand something. They have programmed everyone. I'm not telling you not to go to the doctor if you feel that there's something wrong. You go. But the reality is that people have always gotten colds and flus and sniffles. And unless you're on a really great perfect day diet, go check it out in my library, then you're going to have a runny nose. You're going to have stuffy congestion. You're going to have breathing problems. You're going to have eye irritation. You're going to have constipation, and constipation leads to infection. Infection leads to absorption of the waste into your blood, which leads to inflammation. The problem is you've never been taught how to look after that beautiful body that God granted you when you said that you could come down here to a fun-filled, life-threatening experience onto this planet because you wanted to come down here and learn how to master emotions because that's what it is about here. When only 1 out of 10,000 people learn how to master their emotions and the rest what? Lose their mind and become a landmine. So understand something. Fear is not real. It is a product of your thoughts. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. And the greatest danger that you ever have is losing yourself. When you're not in control, someone else is in control. And when you're not in control, you're going to more than have diarrhea. You're going to lose your health. You're going to lose your wealth. And that is such a crime. That is not such a crime. It's a crime against nature. It's a crime. It's a universal crime. Understand something. Beliefs matter. You matter. Yes, you matter. And your beliefs matter. And if you don't watch your beliefs are going to change your matter. Oh, what do I mean? Well, guess what? Contaminate yourself with toxic beliefs long enough, and you'll contaminate your tissue. And now we've got a real issue. You're not just poisoning yourself on a mental basis, but you'll be doing it on a physical. But before you even were doing it on a mental, you did it on a spiritual. Because guess what? We are spirit beings first and foremost. And when you do not feed the spirit, then you will become a landmine. And then you will have issues in your tissues, like we see. Why do you think there's so much surgery? Because you've buried all of the issues that you cannot process properly because you have been programmed to believe that you're broken, you're unworthy. You are not. You are a genius. You are authentic, and you've got this. Your thoughts matter. You matter. So understand something. Beliefs are alive. So whatever you believe and whatever you push to feed is only going to get bigger. Did you get that? So if I believe that I am total love and that which created me has never judged me, that totally loves me, and if I don't fall into the program of being a sinner or a failure, but I learn instead of burning, and I pick myself up and I rise forward, this is what they have on you. This is what they've got on you. How does it feel to be a failure? How does it feel to be a sinner? And then depending on your beliefs will depend on how long you keep yourself in judgment jail. Are you going to give yourself a life sentence? Are you going to whip yourself? What are you going to hold back from yourself because you're unworthy? So while you're punishing yourself and not rising to super consciousness, life still goes on. What did I just say? Beliefs must be fed, so you better choose wisely. You better choose wisely. What beliefs are you feeding? What beliefs are you feeding right now? Right now at this very moment. Just stop. Stop this video. Stop it right now. Tell me what beliefs you've been feeding today, yesterday. What beliefs are you going to feed tomorrow? And did you know that your power is only in the present moment? That if you're in the past or you're fearing the future, they got you. They won. You're frozen now because you're in fight or flight. But the thing is you're frozen. You're constricted. You won't even move. This is not good. Listen to me. Whatever you feed might someday feed on you. Do you get that? Whatever you feed might someday feed on you. So when you're not at ease with your mind, you will get a dis-ease, and that dis-ease will feed on you, and it will consume you until it takes you down. What am I talking about? Well, your beliefs create and make and shape you. What if you had the belief that you were unworthy? What if you had the belief that you weren't worth loving? What if you had the belief that you let your family down? Well, maybe you might just become a drug addict. Why would you become a drug addict? Because you need to become something else, and you need to get out of your mind. And what if you took the drugs so much that you lost your spirit and you were taken up by an evil force? Take a look at these pictures that I'm showing right now. These are beautiful children that believed that their personality was the end of their life, that it was never going to be good enough for anyone, that they weren't worthy of love. Trust me, you think I don't know? I have children that have gone into this. And thank God they didn't go all the way. And understand something. There's an entity out there, there's an evil out there that wants your children. The real terrorist is the mind. But understand something. The real terrorist is the environment around us, the people we listen to, the things we download. Okay? It's the system. Welcome to the harvest, everyone. Are you going to tell me that you don't feel like we're being harvested right now? I think you do. Understand something. There's 4 belief patterns out there right now. People have no belief. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And they have no faith. Where's God? Second one, people who have belief but no faith. God, how could you leave me? How could you desert us? What? We were given everything. We have choices. You need to reach down inside and know that you need to take action. You said, I'm going to go down to that planet, dear Lord, and I got this. I know they're going to steal my spirit. I know they're going to crush my heart. That's why heart disease is the main killer down here. But I'm going to get it back because that's the game. When you're an infinite human being traveling the universe, you want to play every game, don't you? So now we've got people that have belief in themselves still, maybe some, but no faith. And then the third one is we have faith. God will take care of it. I don't know about that. Go ahead. Pray all you want. But unless you take massive personal action because you're the one that you said you could come down here and play this game and you could win it. So I would suggest maybe you get your faith back and you get your belief back. And when you get your faith back and you get your belief back, everybody's going to see your shining light because you're going to be feeding your spirit. And when you feed the spirit, you heal the body. And remember something, you can't change the world. But when you change yourself and you shine that light, everybody else picks up that vibration. So understand, you need to awaken your brave heart. You need to awaken it today. You need to unleash your mighty roar. Where's your voice? Have you lost your voice? I bet right now you probably have a sore throat because you can't choke this down, can you? So understand something. Never a victim anymore. Always a brave heart. Connect to your breath, everyone. Put your hand on your heart and then go through everything that you're grateful for. And understand something. You haven't even started to tap on your potential. Every day when I wake up, I go, I will unleash the greater part of me. And I know that my potential, my power is infinite because I was created to be infinite. So let's be a brave heart. What does that mean? Well, the B stands for boundaries. You can take a look closer at the slide. You can stop it. You can read it. You can go into my Braveheart book. And you can watch the 12 Loving Steps. Or you can take my Braveheart course by going to quickstart@docofdetox.com for free. But understand the B stands for boundaries. R for reliability. First of all, do you have boundaries? Have you held boundaries? Are you holding the loving line? Okay? No, I'm not believing this. No, I will honor, respect, and protect myself today and every day. Reliability. Can your family rely on you to protect the home, the children? Men, especially you men, are you protecting your family? That's what we used to do. And are you taking action? That's what the A stands for. Are you taking massive action? And victorious. You should be celebrating your victories every day. Every day. Take a look at your victories. See how you've moved forward. And are you enthusiastic? You need to stay enthusiastic. Do not let them get you down. Get it? Get you down. Your vibration is down. When your vibration is down, you become a prey to the predator. That's brave. How about your heart? Brave heart. Honesty. Are you being honest to yourself or are you lying to yourself? All right? Search for the truth. Search for the truth. Search for honesty in yourself and for everyone else. Energy. How's your energy level? You're going to know, okay? because your energy level is going to decide on what? Whether or not you're feeding your spirit. Because if you're not feeding your spirit, oh, you're sucked. Because we're walking, talking batteries. We're electromagnetic light energy beings first and foremost. Do not let this physical body fool you. We already talked about that. 7 octillion particles aren't even touching. They're vibrating so close together, you think it's solid. Attitude. Do you have an attitude of gratitude? On a continual basis. And looking at every situation, okay, holds opportunity. Repetition. Repetition is the art of mastering the new you, the authentic you. If you're not willing to repeat something 10,000 times, then you're never going to be there. You know, people never change, do they? Haha, guess what? Anybody can change if you understood that your personality is not your reality. Okay? Oh, yes, it is. There you go. Your personality is your reality, and your personality is not the authentic you. Did you know something? I'm still not my authentic self. What does that mean? Well, for one thing, when you come down here to a place that lies, cries, and justifies, and from 0 to 7, you take in 70 to 90% of all your beliefs. You're like a sponge. Everything is truth. Then you spend the rest of your life unraveling it and looking for your true self. That's the game. I'm okay with that. But you will struggle when you don't understand that that was the game. You will believe you're cursed by God, or that you have a mental problem, or that you have a genetic weakness, which is not true either. So there's so many different stories out there, but the true story is guess what? Love, honor, and respect. And if you could repeat that 10,000 times, if you could do my love band work, my mirror work, connecting yourself to your breath, every 5 minutes, clicking this and go, I got this. This is me. Would you rather be so scared today, you have no energy, you feel sick, you feel like you're coming down with the flu, or would you like to find the real you? You need to check out my work. When this video is all done, I want you to ask yourself something. What was he trying to do to us? I just want you to totally love and honor and respect and protect yourself. That's all I want. I don't want anything else from you. Why would I? Believe it or not, whether you want to believe this, I learned to love everyone on this planet. I may not like everyone's beliefs, but that's okay. I like that part too. I like the different beliefs. I am not going to hate anyone. Am I going to dislike people's beliefs? Yes, but when you start hating things, especially yourself, this is when we lose our power. So repetition, everyone. My son is one of the best dancers in North America. And he's also a ballet dancer. And he would practice a movement for weeks, one movement. Understand your subconscious is 90% of your brain, and if you don't want to get that, and if you don't understand something, that you're going to have to put a mini you on your shoulder, and you're going to have to watch you. Observing you is the most important thing you'll ever do. Not judging you, and stop judging the world. Observe it. Decide what you don't want, and then forget it. And then only focus on what you want, and you'll get it. And it's only going to come through repetition. So where's your focus? And then trust. You have to trust in yourself first and foremost. Until you trust in yourself first and foremost, you are always going to be in trouble. And you need to understand that. You're going to be everyone else, and you're going to be everywhere else, and it's going to be exhausting. So, take the time. Check out my 12 self-loving steps. Check out the Braveheart Way. And for you women, read I Am Woman. Because guess what? You women, I'm counting on you to save the world. Because the men, they're couch potatoes. They're not sure where they belong anymore. So what's important? Feeding your body? I think we've done enough of that, don't you? Or feeding our mind, okay? Remember, the only way that you can grow is consciously. Oh, wait a minute, not for most. When 80% of the population is overweight, 40% of the population is obese, this is where we had it. Corporations don't care. They're not living, breathing. They're entities with no heart, no blood, no pulse, no emotion, just a bottom line. So, where the mind goes, the body follows. I think it's as simple as that. Don't you get it? So where's your mind going right now? Is it a land mind? Is it creating the most beautiful life? Is it staying in the present moment? Practicing connecting to your breath? The lion heart breathing? Because when you stay quiet and you quiet the mind and you connect to the breath, you connect to our Lord, our Creator, our God, our source. Understand something, everybody. This is how life works. Guess what? Don't watch the news. How do you like the images they give you? How do you like the images that they put in your mind? Do you like them? What are you doing that for? You're addicted to triggering the adrenals in your body to dump adrenaline to get your next rush. You are a drug addict to adrenaline rush. But let's get back to this slide. Did you know that you cannot have a thought before you have an image? So that means that image creates thoughts. Because guess what we do? Remember what I said earlier? How you're the director, you're the writer, you're the head movie star, and you get to decide. Is it going to be an adventure, a comedy, a love story, a drama, a thriller? You get to decide all of this. This is your stage. So image creates thought. A thought creates emotion. Emotion creates feelings. Okay. So what does emotion stand for? The E stands for energy in motion. So energy in motion creates feelings. Feelings create a frequency. And those frequencies trigger chemicals and hormones. Remember Einstein? Remember E equals mc squared? That energy actually creates mass. So what does that mean? That means that thought form creates physical form. I just made myself sick. I just made myself well with just a thought. Because the invisible is the invincible. It is everything. So understand this, 95% of all your energy is generated by your emotions. Oh, wow. Why do you feel exhausted today? Wow. Well, you just took yourself to hell. You took yourself through the gates of hell. And it's all a thought. Do you know, you can believe this or not, I'd say that I deal with maybe anywhere from 2 to a half a dozen teenagers a month now that are ready to commit suicide because of their thoughts. And I can tell you right now, it takes maybe about an hour to 2 hours to totally change their mind. When they find out that it isn't them, they've been adulterated by adults. And you know what? They were made to feel not good enough because their parents were made to not feel good enough. Because most of the adults have been made to feel not good enough. And today, with so much information, disinformation, any beautiful young spirit like that is getting blown apart. Where are the parents? Well, understand, no guilt, parents. But until you love, honor, protect, and respect yourself, how could you ever teach that to your children? And let me just say this. Would you like your children to respect themselves and love themselves and honor themselves just 10%? Well, guess what? Then who's going to fill up the other 90% when you're pissed off at them? Who's going to fill up the other 90% when their girlfriend breaks up with them, their boyfriend breaks up with them? Did you teach your children that they're sinners? Did you teach your children that when things don't go their way, they're failures? or that they need to fail thousands of times to be successful. And once they become successful at that, they're going to pick something else to fail at until they're successful at that. Did you teach your children that when they hit a bump in the road, it means slow down? Did you teach your children when there's a quick right turn and it wasn't in their plans, that it was their higher self saying, I've got a better solution? Or do you have tantrums all the time and you've taught your children how to have mood problems? Is that what you've done? No guilt here. No guilt at all. I swear to God. This is not about guilt. This is about rising to the occasion. Because 95% of all your energy is generated by your emotions. Energy is your most valuable asset. And guess what? Those that choose to control the world and control you know how to suck you of it. How you doing? How's that battery doing right now? I'll tell you right now. I have been putting out more energy in the last 6 weeks than ever. But I don't tell myself I'm tired. I tell myself I'm infinite. I got more. Thank you, God, for allowing me to wake up so that I could experience the life that everybody said I could have. So let me ask you a question. Could consciousness all come down to the way we vibrate? And the way we vibrate because of the way we think, our thoughts, because of the images that we start off with? Could thought form really create physical form? The house I live in, the car I have, the woman I love, the children I have, the clothes I wear, the success I have, the health I have. What do you think? So who's really in charge? Those that are in charge right now know that your conscious mind only makes up 10% of you, and that if you don't want to do the love band work, the mirror work, the connecting to the breath, or learning how to love yourself and taking at least 30 to 45 minutes every night, and that the first hour in the day is the hour of power, and the last hour of the day is the hour of power, that we need to be grateful in the morning, connect to our breath, focus on only what we want, and at night to calm down and go through the day and be grateful for everything and honor that which has created the whole universe. Or, here's the challenge. Because, understand, we have a subconscious for one reason. Have you ever said, I wish you were dead? Well, what if you could create that fast? You'd have no family left. I wish I was dead. You wouldn't exist. Thank God our Creator makes us want to repeat something 10,000 times, eh? Because you really got to want it. So whether it's a negative thing or a positive thing, you have to repeat it. So decide what you really want, who you really want to be, and then don't let anyone sidetrack you. Do you actually think that any government agency, that any type of group or system, or anyone out there is going to change my mind about loving, honoring, protecting, respecting myself, and staying the light for my family? Do you think that I'm going to listen to anything if it doesn't vibrate and match that of my Creator? Are you like out of your mind? Well, you'd have to be if you believe that, because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Ever. So understand, 90% of your subconscious is 90% of your brain is your subconscious. And it's just a big filing cabinet. And you've got all these beliefs in there. And these beliefs just run, and whether you want to believe this or not, think about it. You put your pants on without thought. You make coffee without thought. You hug without thought. You know how to do 99% of your day without thought. So what if you never gave any thought to the thoughts that you have? Well, then your life is hell. It's hell on earth. I guarantee it. It's hell on earth. Because until you decide that you're going to put that little mini you on your shoulder and you're going to watch and observe everything you think, do, eat, drink, think, the game's never even begun yet. You're everyone else being everywhere else. And that's the end of it. So that's just a filing cabinet. So understand, today I have this new thought that I want to love, honor, respect, and protect myself and my family from now on. Well, that's not even going to be a little path. So you're going to have to repeat that and repeat that and repeat that, and it'll become a sidewalk. And then after that, it'll become then a one-way street. Then it'll become a two-way street. Then it'll become a highway. Then it'll become a huge freeway. And then it'll become the most prominent belief. And guess what? I don't even have to think about it. I don't have to think about honoring, respecting, and protecting myself anymore. I've been doing it for years. And if everybody did this, we would not be hurting anyone. To totally love, honor, respect, and protect yourself, does that mean you hurt other people? That you're that selfish? Well, if you're not going to be selfish enough to know what your needs are, oh, you're going to be so damn needy. Oh, wait a minute. I think you are. Maybe not you, but the majority of the population. If we weren't needy, we wouldn't be controlled by the greedy. There you go. So, when are you going to what? Mind your own business? Mind your own business. And that business, okay? That business. And that business would be what? Your thoughts. So until you're ready to start really examining, observing, and pulling out these toxic thoughts like weeds in a garden that are choking out what you really want, then you're always going to get what you don't want. So mind your own business. So unless you're going to center into yourself and be selfish enough to know how to become that which will honor, protect, and respect yourself, how are you going to do it for other people? You can't give what you're not. Oh, I know you love your family. But you can only love your family like you love you. I know some of you think that I don't know what I'm talking about, but I wish that you could live in my mind and walk with me through the day. And no matter what I'm dealing with, I'm always grateful. And guess what? I always know how to make people smile, no matter what the situation. When are you going to be the hero that you've always wanted to be? Superman's not coming. So you have a choice. Be afraid or be awake. It's your choice. But remember this, and don't forget it. For healing to become permanent, it must take place first in the mind. Our thoughts are powerful enough to bring things into existence. Did you get that? Come on. Think about this. The placebo effect is a scientific proof of this. People take sugar pills and they get well. My gosh, people will do chemotherapy that has only a 2.23 success rate, but if they believe in it hard enough, even though it's one of the most toxic things you can do, they can still heal. Isn't that amazing? But then the results are not that great because only 5% of the population that does that is alive after 5 years. So understand something. The tipping point. What's the tipping point? Well, your conscious mind is that which is the CEO that makes all the important decisions, that creates everything new. But listen to me. The subconscious is 10,000 times more powerful than the conscious mind. But once you've worked on this hard enough and you've made every belief in your subconscious mind, one that totally loves, honors, respects, and protects you, then you're doing it for the world. Once you vibrate as high as that which created you, then you become the master creator. And when you create things, you look behind you and go, thank you, God. Thank you for allowing me to wake up, to shake up, and to make up such a beautiful life. So we need to erase, replace our beliefs right now. Your subconscious has empowering beliefs and disempowering beliefs. And I'm telling you, by the time, well, it's happening fast. I'll tell you right now, with what's happened in the last few weeks, I have been working so much more on an unconscious level, okay, to get rid of, on an unconscious and subconscious level, to get rid of any disempowering beliefs I have. Because I must be strong. I must be strong. I must not pretend to be strong, but you must pretend to be strong until your subconscious belief says you want it bad enough and it's not going to kill you. It doesn't matter if you're bringing a belief into your subconscious that could save the world today. It will deny it unless you've done it 10,000 times, where you've first brought it up through your heart and dipped it with total love before you come to your brain. Understand something. Every time you make a decision through fear, it's from your brain, which means you're just running the same old damn program. Take a look at your life. You're having the same arguments with your children, your wife, your husband, and with the world that you've been having for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Tell me I'm wrong. Unless you change your personality, you're not going to change your reality. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? You need to decide that. So you need to replace your subconscious. Your subconscious has empowering beliefs and disempowering beliefs. That's the end of it. So are you going to create through default? Some days are good, some days are bad. Or are you going to live by design? Are you going to know that the greatest part of your attention and focus needs to be on you? And if you think that's selfish, then you are going to be everyone else, everywhere else, because you're going to be looking for approval and you're going to be getting what? Hurt, because you're taking things personal and you will not break away from the herd. And herd mentality, how's that working for you? How's that working for you? So guess what? Peak performance requires repetition, 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 repetition. You know what? If you want to become a Braveheart Olympian and save your family, then where's your Braveheart? Where's connecting to your breath? So, first, if you don't get control of your emotions, which you must, that's the foundation. And what are they doing out there? What is the media doing to you right now? It is taking your emotions like a roller coaster that goes loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop. 1 minute you're okay, 1 minute you're not. 1 minute you're okay, 1 minute you're not. 1 minute you're okay, 1 minute you're not. I mean, that's exhausting. I mean, who would even want to live? Well, wait a minute. There's a lot of people that are so scared. They don't want to die, but they're scared to live. That's why we're in this position. So we need to start mastering our emotions. So that's why you have to do a love band work. I got this. I got this. If every 5 minutes you click this or you set your phone, you know what this says? It says Braveheart, 3, 2, 1, I got this. And if you click this, why? Because a love band, what? It's a hug. Yes, I'm going to hug myself all day long because I do love you, Daryl. And this is a kiss. But guess what? This kiss, it makes noise. I can feel it. I can see it. And I can hear it. All my senses are alert now. And when I go 3, 2, 1, I got this. And when you count backwards, guess what? So as soon as you feel anxiety, as soon as you feel fear, what do? Automatically, you go for this. Click. Because guess what? And you go 3, 2, 1, I got this. And you say that right away. You stay right in your conscious mind because you have 1 second. 1 second. And they know this. They're going to create fear. That's going to go into your subconscious, and you're going to run the same damn program every time. The same damn program that's going to damn you to hell. Because hell is in the mind. That's where it is. I'm not going to hell when I leave here. And I don't think anybody else is going to hell when they leave here. They're already in it if they don't own their mind. Let's worry about nothing and let's focus on what we're doing right now. And if you do that, you'll never have to worry about hell here or there or anywhere else. People lie, and they lie a lot. So understand something. Even in the military, they do that. Count backwards. If you count backwards, your subconscious can't count backwards. Only your conscious mind can count backwards. So then that takes it and keeps you in the conscious mind so you don't go back into the subconscious mind and run that program that's running you over. It's as simple as that. And guess what? You're going to forget to put it on. Or you're going to tell me that you don't have 25 cents. And then you're going to tell me that you can't afford to buy 10 of them at $2.50. Or if you can't afford them, why don't you get yourself a hairband? Why don't you get yourself an elastic? Why don't you get started right now? Why don't you prove me wrong? That I don't know what I'm talking about. Or the military doesn't know what it's talking about. They don't do the love band because there's nothing lovely about that. But guess what? If you don't want to love yourself, then you're going to hate yourself. And there's only two different emotions on this planet, love and hate. All the other emotions run underneath that. Well, I don't love myself, but I don't hate myself. Well, that means you hate yourself. Because love is a beautiful thing. But then love is just an ingredient. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. So understand something. You get a handle on your emotions. You connect to your breath. All right? And then guess what? The law of attention. Where's your focus? If you're only having attention and focus on those things that you want, you're going to have them. If you keep focusing on and having attention on things you don't want, you'll have those too. And now the law of repetition. Let's just repeat what we do want and do want. Let's put our hand over our heart. Let's not wish for things because of anxiety or fear. Let's do them because we know that God loves us. And that we know that we were told before we came down here, whatever we focus on the most, we will have. Okay, why can people that are so bloody evil be wealthy on this planet and still be healthy? You can tell me. They're going to get theirs. But they believe they deserve it, so they're still getting it. So meanwhile, you believe in a greater power, and you try to be a really great person, but you don't believe in you. And you don't really care for you because you were taught that you're a failure or a sinner. So now you know why you go without, because you vibrate low. I'm sorry, guys, but you get what you think about. You get what you focus on. You get what you pay attention to. You get what you repeat. And that's that. So understand, get your emotions in gear. Right here. The law of attention, what are you focusing on? The law of repetition. And then guess what? It's the law of attraction. You're magnetic. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't I say that? You are an electromagnetic light energy being, which means that you will draw to you what you are. And that's it. That's the story right there. So the domino effect of thought is everything, isn't it? So your CEO, which makes all the new decisions, is your conscious mind, but your CEO is only 5% of your mind to 10% of your mind, right? So that means you don't see the CEO too much, but when you do see the CEO, they're making great decisions usually, hopefully, right? So the CEO makes the new decisions. That's your conscious mind, which is a new thought. And guess what? But you can't do that unless you're in the present moment. So how often are you in the present moment? 2 to 5% of the day. So that's why things aren't going your way. Okay, so who's the editor? Well, the editor is somebody who says, nope, don't like that, only like that. And the editor's only going to like what the editor's used to. Nothing new. Doesn't matter if it's going to save you or take you down, but nothing new. So the editor is the subconscious mind. It only likes prominent thoughts, hates the present. Wow. And it really hates the future, right? And then there's the autopilot. What's the autopilot? Everybody's going, I don't know what that is. It's the unconscious mind. And the unconscious mind is your body. Remember what I said? You got to have issues in your mind before you have issues in your tissues. And when your mind can't process negative emotion, it buries it in your body. And we call that not being at ease, which is a disease. Whoa, there you go. Now you just found out why people get sick. Now you found out why I don't get sick. And I don't get sick. Got to have a sick mind before you have a sick body. And I'm not telling you you're a sick person. I'm telling you the thoughts that were unconsciously programmed into you are undermining your God-given right That's what I'm saying. So the autopilot is the unconscious mind, which is your body. Okay. All your experiences become habits. Once they become a habit, they get infused in every cell of your body. This is why you're able to tie your shoes, put your pants on without thinking it. This is why you're able to go to the bathroom. You don't think about how to do it. Brushing your teeth. Do I need to keep going? So things become a habit. So you really have to work on first talking to the CEO. The CEO has to be in charge and that means now the CEO, instead of being in charge only what? Only what? 5% of the day? Is going to be in charge 95% of the day. So switch it around. And if you can do that and you can connect to your breath and you can stay in the present moment, you can own this. But you're going to need to put sticky notes all over the house and in your car. You're going to have to do the mirror work. Do you really want your life back? Do you want your life to be better than it's ever been? You can do this. I know you can. I believe in you. I truly do. I truly believe in you. But understand something. Would you like to know how it goes? Well, first of all, let's start a rumor. Then let's use the media to tell a story. And tell that story over and over and over and over. I had enough yet? And then that story becomes a belief. And then you go around telling this belief to all your family and your friends. And it becomes a habit. Because you've told it so often that it's infused in every 50 trillion cells. It lives in you. It's an entity. So now guess what? Let's have it go for longer than a few weeks. It becomes a ritual. Now you don't even have to think about being terrorized. You don't have to even think about the end of the world's coming, because it is. Welcome to the family curse. So you have a choice today to believe the rumor that becomes a story, that becomes a belief, that becomes a habit, that becomes a ritual, or no. Thank you. I don't want it. I can't digest it. It doesn't vibrate high enough for me. I don't accept your gift. I am the blessing. And that belief is the curse. And I am not cursed. So understand something. A sick mind equals a sick body. Take a look at these pictures. A healthy mind equals a healthy body. I think that makes sense, doesn't it? What do you think? Do you think that maybe when you're pouring your heart into being miserable, you might be? Or your mind, you never pour your heart into it. That's why your heart's broken. That's why there's heart disease. Oh my God, my heart is empty. Well, yeah, because you never learned how to fill it. You got to be tankful. You got to fill it yourself. My heart's in pieces. He broke my heart. She broke my heart. My heart aches. That's why heart disease is the #1 killer. I just stated that earlier. So understand something. Mind games and pain body programs. That's what's going on right now. Guess what? If I can get in your mind, I can make you feel sick. Sick mind, sick body. The subconscious, for 99.9% of the population, is a frenemy. That's right. It's not your friend. It's an enemy. You think it's your friend, so it's a frenemy. So until you master it, it will master you. Oh, but wait a minute. It works for who? Not you. It works for those who say they're smarter, they're greater, they know better. How's that working for you? How's that working for you? Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Pain is your body's GPS. You know what? If I didn't have pain, I'd be dead already, because I would have probably I drank too much alcohol when I was younger, did too much drugs, or I would have emotionally destroyed myself, which I almost did. Now I understand that pain is my friend, so I don't try to suppress it through drugs. I don't try to ignore it. And I understand that when I am in pain, I'm off track. And I'm on the pain train. So I got to get myself back on track, which means I got to connect to my breath, my Lionheart breath, which means I've got to do the love band work. I've got to do the mirror work. I've got to love Daryl. I've got to respect him. I've got to protect him, or I can't do it for my family. You don't get this. Go ahead, stay weak. Stay a victim. See how well that's going to go over for the rest of the family. How does it feel to have a whole family full of people that are fearful? Everybody's just going, who's going to get sick? And my God, is somebody in the family going to give me that sickness? And how does it feel to be terrorized and be fighting with yourself and fighting with your family and being on edge and getting angry at your children right now? Because you're so worried about them, you're angry at them because you can't get angry at what's actually causing the problem. Why get angry at all? Look at, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go for walks as often as I want. I'm not going to walk near you, so don't worry. So don't freak out. I will not go against that. But I will tell you something. I will honor and respect and love myself and give what I need to have a beautiful day every day. And if we actually all did that and stopped bringing our negative emotions in the house and toxic food in the house and toxic habits, and if we never ever bought things that go against our mind, our bodies, and if we really knew that nature is the most important thing, we wouldn't be here right now. If you honored yourself, you're honoring God. If you made choices of whole plant-based foods that were created by nature, and you stayed away from toxic chemicals, and you did your homework, we wouldn't be here right now. But guess what? We'll get out of this. I believe in you. I swear to God, I do. I believe in you. And understand something. Pain is a GPS, and please do not attack pain. It is not an enemy. And people who run from pain are always in pain. And people who run from pain are on drugs. They're suppressing their pain, but actually, what are they doing? The pain is caused because they're emotionally toxic. Because they've never been given the tools to understand that your emotions make and shape you. And that the emotions you have, the negative ones, were given to you because guess what? Now you're out of control. And if you're out of control, somebody else is controlling you. Are you out of control today? Are you out of control today? So understand, perception orchestrates chemistry. I told you earlier that there's only love and there's only hate. And so you can believe whatever you want. But there's only love and hate. You're either loving yourself or hating yourself. And understand something right now. I'm going to tell you this. Love is just an ingredient. It's what you do with it. And don't tell me that love is going to change the world. That is such crock. That is a crock. The only time that the world's going to change because of love is when you self-love. When you totally love yourself and you don't have to let yourself off the hook. When you make a mistake and you go, what can I learn? And if you actually hurt someone, say you're sorry. But if you didn't hurt someone, don't say you're sorry. Don't keep saying you're sorry. That in itself is a hate program. Do you notice how people say they're sorry all the bloody time? I'm not trying to tell you not to say sorry. I didn't say that. But don't say it when there's no need. And understand something, that love is just an ingredient. And guess what? How does it work for you? Using other people to get your love. And understand something. The last time that your heart was exploding with love, nobody gave you that love. All they did was help to trigger it with a frequency to release the love you have for yourself. But it's a self-serve job. Why can't you just push your own button and create that beautiful love so that you have smile, that you have a light coming off you, that you have energy coming off you, that everybody wants to go, wow, how can I get that? And if we did that, we wouldn't be here right now. So love, when you create that love feeling for yourself, whether it's walking in nature, petting a dog that you love, having thoughts that you love, doing things that you love, you're going to release dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And that spells dose. Are you getting your daily dose today of joy, healing? Because that puts you in a parasympathetic state, a state of healing and love. There, nobody can touch you. But the problem is we can't get in it. Because we have created a protocol of what? Fight, flight, fright, freeze. We're in a sympathetic state that's not sympathetic. 95% of the day, dripping histamine, adrenaline, and cortisol, which I'd like to call hack. Because you're trying to hack it up. Right? Because you are acidic. And they know that. Every time that they scare you, they create fear and anxiety. You drip adrenaline, cortisol, and histamine into your body, which is acidic, which is eating away your tissues. And now you have issues in your tissues because of the inflammation. And the inflammation causes the scar tissue formation that makes you feel stiff. And the crystallization that makes you feel sticky. And the calcification that makes you feel like a statue. I'm frozen. So, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? Love or hate? Stay away from things. Orchestrate your life by design. Don't live it by default. Okay? Because I'm telling you right now, the brain is the chemist. And your blood is the culture medium. What are you dumping into the blood? So your emotions were going to trigger a frequency. That frequency is going to trigger hormones and chemicals that go into your blood that are going to what? From the invisible, we create the physical. It's as simple as that. All right? So the chemist, your brain, releasing the chemicals and the hormones. Are you creating a parasympathetic state or a sympathetic state? Are you on the run? How does it feel? Dumping all these chemicals, okay? Histamine, adrenaline, cortisol. At least when hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, when there was dinosaurs and tigers chasing us, we would burn it off and then we'd relax and then we wouldn't burn ourselves up. You sit there watching TV, you sit there freaking out, and all that dumps into you. And if you don't move it out, it eats away your body. It eats away your nervous system, eats away your mind. And you become a landmine. You're blowing up. You're blowing yourself up. So in a parasympathetic state, we're going to rest, restore, repair. In a sympathetic state, guess what? You can expect inflammation, crystallization, scar tissue formation, mutation. So you're either what? At ease, or you are the disease. It's as simple as that. So you need to make a choice. But then haven't you always? Oh, yes, you have. And it might have been, you're always making the choice. But if it was an unconscious choice, not a conscious choice, then you're making it for someone else, which means you are someone else doing something else. And that's why you'll never find your authentic self. So there's a parasympathetic nervous system right there. How does that look? Look at the contentment, the beauty. This is where we can be. And that's with a choice. You could go and do that with a loved one right now. Practice this. Practice this. Hug them. Touch them. Kiss them. Love them. Love yourself well. Well, won't you love yourself? So understand something. It's all about relationships. The relationship first starts with you. How much do you love yourself? How much do you like yourself? How much guilt do you hold for yourself? How much do you judge yourself? How much do you make yourself responsible for the things you aren't really responsible for? And you're only responsible for one thing, and that's the present moment. Everything that's behind you, you need to learn, not burn. Don't go dumpster diving and drag a garbage from the past. You need to be right here, right now. We need you. Please. So what's it going to be? Action or reaction? What's it going to be? Are you going to let them win? Or have they won already? So it's not your job to detoxify toxic people. Did you get that? I hope you understand what I'm saying, okay? So understand something. I can't heal people. I can only take all that energy, put it into me, okay, and be an example. It's your job to detox the part of you that resonates with their toxicity. It's your job to detoxify the toxic part of you that resonates with watching the news, thinking the end of the world is coming, to think that you have no power. It's your job to detoxify that today. So understand something. If you only have 10% love for yourself, there's a 90% chance that you're going to hurt today, that you're going to be in pain on an emotional, spiritual, and physical level. End of story. That's it. So I'll be happy when? Oh, of course, when I get the girl. Oh, when I get the car, when I get the baby, when I get the house, when I sell the house, when the kids grow up, when the kids move out, when I get grandchildren, when I retire. Are we there yet? Be here right now. I'll be happy right now. I'll be happy right now. I will be grateful for everything I have and know that I want more. I will always want more because there is more. There's enough water. There's enough food. There's enough money. There's enough oxygen. There's enough of everything. Unless you are not everything. You'll only have what you are. So understand that. So understand this. Everybody needs to get this. There is nothing in this world that can trouble you more than your thoughts. I hope you're getting this, because right now that's what's going down, okay? All right? If you smell smoke, there's fire. And that fire is that your brain is burning up. And as long as you're in anxiety, okay, you're going to go into depression because your brain has to shut down because it doesn't want to stroke out. That's why people get depressed. Because you are having the grand illusion of the end of the world, you're unworthy, and your brain can't take it. Your brain can only take so much negative thoughts because it's going to burn it up, so it causes you to go into depression. What's wrong, Daryl? Well, I don't know. I'm just tired. I don't know. It just all seems to be too much. Really. Understand something. The power-hungry brain. It needs to be fed. Even when you're sleeping, you are thinking. So understand, what are you feeding it? You can't tell your brain to shut up. But what you can do is start feeding it and feeding it positive thoughts that override the negative ones until they're gone. Your brain is stupid. It only houses programs. So if you knew this, so if you look at your brain like a computer, that's all it is. It runs programs that helps to dump chemicals and hormones to create a physical body and to create your whole life. So it's hungry. So feed it. Feed it love. Feed it imagination. Imagination is everything. So imagine what you want and then see it, smell it, taste it, feel it, hold it, own it. And don't let anybody sway you. Hey, look at right now, you're just sitting there terrorizing yourself. So why, you have a choice. I can terrorize myself, or I can imagine the life I want and really start running those love juices through my body. It's your choice. It truly is your choice. Look at E equals MC squared. Imagination is everything. I just said that. It is the preview of the coming attractions of your body. So what are you going to imagine today? It's the coming attractions of your life, your body, your relationships. So use it wisely, but hey, use it wisely. This is Albert Einstein. So imagination is your GPS. And what does that mean? Well, it means that you can imagine anything you want. Because that which so created you so totally loves you. So understand something, the law of attention, the law of repetition, touch, see, hear, smell, taste. These are all important. They get you started, but it's the invisible, which is the electric impulse that triggers the brain neurons to create the imprint of the new thought that causes sensory memory, which is called short-term memory. But if you work on it, it becomes long-term memory, then becomes a prominent thought. That prominent thought becomes a habit. So are you willing to live in the conscious mind and not be asleep? You won't know that you were asleep until you awaken. So you got to practice being in the conscious mind, and you're not going to do that unless you want to do this every 5 minutes for the first few days, and then every 10 minutes, every 15 minutes. You've got to create a new program. So conscious goes to subconscious. Then subconscious goes to the unconscious, which is the body. So now what? You are unconsciously, subconsciously in love with yourself, protecting yourself, respecting yourself, and showing your children it's okay to do that. Because if you don't teach your children to totally love themselves, respect themselves, protect themselves, they're going to pick other kids or other people that vibrate at their level. How about this? Alcohol, drugs, self-abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. What do you want to teach them? What do you want to teach them? So, I already said this. Perception orchestrates chemistry. Take another look at this. Is it love or hate today? Do you hate yourself? Do you hate your life? And if you do, I guarantee you, you're blowing up on your family and they're blowing up at you. You're pushing their buttons. They're pushing your buttons. Do you want to push hate buttons or love buttons? And you're going to keep pushing hate buttons unless you take control. Self-love, self-respect, self-honor, self-trust. They have to come. Love is not the answer. It's an ingredient. Self-love is the answer. Healthcare is not the answer. Self-care is the answer. And you need to get this. And I don't care whether you're talking about healthcare from a natural health practitioner or from the medical system or anyone else. You are in charge of your system. No one else. So understand something. Everything starts off as an emotional block. Then it goes to an energy block. Then it goes to a physical block. Psychological health must come before physical health. Invisible trumps the visible. I hope you're getting this. This is so critically important. Again, mind games and pain body programs. Every family runs them. Get a calendar. Start tracking each other. Track each other. You'll see. Oh my God, Jennifer, she just had her 3 days locked in the bedroom. Do it. Track it again. 3 weeks later, 3 days in the bedroom. Oh, look at Jimmy. 3 tantrums a day. Oh, look at Fred. He doesn't drink. He just binges for 2 weeks and then he stops. Look at Jennifer. She needs to have a drink every night. Look at Jimmy. He has to have a toke throughout the day. Unless you're going to connect to your breathing, and unless you're going to become a brave heart warrior, and you're going to process everything through your heart until your mind is not a landmine, your body will become a wreck. And that's the law. It's not my law. You know what? I didn't make this up. And at the end of this, you may not like my beliefs, but at the end of this, all I tried to sell you was one thing: on you. Wow. I can't stand that, Dr. Wolf. He really wants us to love ourselves? How ridiculous is he? So understand that. If you don't want to understand that, you're going to have issues in your tissues. And that's why we are an inflammation nation. Because guess what? Autoimmune disease means what? Attacking oneself. And it had to start in the mind before the body. So get it. So guess what? What do people on antidepressants focus on? I'll let you answer that. What do people on anti-inflammatories focus on? I'll let you answer that. And understand something. Pain, inflammation, and swelling are the body's way of healing. And guess what? If you talk to the medical system, pain, inflammation, and swelling is the enemy. So guess what? You just made your body an enemy. So when you have pain, inflammation, and swelling, that is a healing because you've been bad to yourself on an emotional, spiritual, physical level. You don't know what you're talking about, Dr. Wolf. I probably don't. I've had 40 years in the business, and trust me, this morning I got up and thought, man, I need to start learning. I don't think I know enough. I don't. I'm always going to be learning. And you know what? I can be wrong too. But I know one thing. I'm happy. I am. I'm truly happy. And you're going, you're truly happy right now? Well, that's how I keep my power. And that's how they don't take my power. And they will never take my power away. All right? Let me tell you something. I say this and people think I just use this. I don't use it. I don't need anybody. I don't need anybody. I mean, I don't mean I don't need anybody, but I don't need anybody to believe in me. But I'll tell you right now, think about this. That which created the universe decided to actually create me. I mean, that can almost bring me to tears. And I know from my heart of hearts that I will always exist. And I know that when I leave this planet, I don't want my children or anyone else suffering because I'm leaving, because I'm ready to go on to a new game. There is no death. There is no death. There is no birth. There's a physical entering of the spirit, and a physical, there's the spirit enters a physical body, and then the spirit leaves a physical body. I will leave this suit behind. Do you ever notice society? Death, dying, disease, divorce. I don't know. I don't believe in any of them, to tell you the truth. I believe that we need to honor and respect and protect ourselves. I believe in that. So understand something. Pain, inflammation, and swelling is actually just your body talking to you and say, I love you. Can you please stop hurting me? Because if you continually to hurt me, you won't be able to live here. Oh yeah, well you can just shut the hell up. So then I'm going to take drugs and tell my body to shut the hell up. How's that work? How's that work when you dishonor yourself or dishonor your wife or your husband? Well, you get divorced or you just don't talk anymore. So your body will stop talking to you. Don't worry. People that are like all stiff and they can't move properly, and you're going, hey, are you okay? No, I don't feel a thing, because your body's totally numbed out because it tried talking to you forever, but you wouldn't listen. So it just goes away. So sickness is not the enemy. When you get sick, it's because you're sick of mind first. And your body gets sick because the invisible translates into the physical. So sickness is not the enemy, but the body's way of healing for the unconscious. So unconscious people that don't know that they need to learn to love, honor, and respect their body, and that they cannot break the rules, the universal laws, and nature's rules. When you do that, then you'll have more pain and inflammation and swelling because your body's going out, what the hell are you doing? And most of the time, it's because you've got issues in your tissues, because you had issues in your mind, and you've never learned how to master your mind, and that's the bottom line. So let's understand something. Those issues in your tissues, we're an inflammation nation. Don't tell me we're not inflamed right now. Well, that's because we are not in control. We have actually given away control. And that leads us to this. Low-grade inflammation, because unless you are loving yourself, which means that you're at peace. If you're not at peace, then you're at war at some level. And when you're at war with yourself, even if it's a low-level war, okay? It's still dripping in those chemicals, right? Histamine, adrenaline, cortisol. It creates low-grade inflammation, which creates what? Energy and nutrient depletion, which creates what? Immune depletion, which creates what? Autoimmune disease. Wow, 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease. We already talked about that. So this brings us to what? Toxic thoughts equal a toxic diet. When's the last time you had a toxic thought and you didn't eat a donut? You didn't have a coffee. You didn't take a drink of alcohol. You didn't have a toke. When's the last time you had toxic thoughts and you made yourself a salad, something beautiful? Or you went and gave yourself a hug, or you hugged your children. So toxic thoughts equal toxic diet. And ineffective treatment. You know that people will actually pick the type of treatment they get by the amount of love they have for themselves. Aha, you think about that one for a bit. Okay? So ineffective treatment equals inflammation, which equals scar tissue formation, which equals displaced calcium. I mean, osteopenia, osteoporosis, osteoarthritis. I mean, all of these things, okay, are all created by what? An autoimmune disease of one not liking oneself. So you can believe it or not believe it, but the invisible does create the visible. And that's the bottom line. So, reasons why the body creates scar tissue and displaced calcium in muscles, joints, tissues, and organs? Let me tell you why. Number one, you're in a sympathetic state. Fright, flight, freeze, right? That's why. Number two, you have all this going on because guess what? The scar tissue and the calcium has to wall off, okay? Has to wall off the leaky gut. Because when you're inflamed, you get leaky gut. You get holes in your intestine. You burn out the mucus lining. You burn out that one layer. So now you've got to have scar tissue to wall it off. What number 3? Pain and inflammation. Well, your body doesn't want the inflammation and pain to spread. So what it does, it walls it off with scar tissue, and it steals calcium from your bones to make a wall, cement. So it wants to cement and create a wall, keep it in, and keep the inflammation in there. So it uses scar tissue and calcium to create that wall. And also because when you get weakened tissue, parasites come, bad bacteria, viruses, worms. So it's like this. The predator comes and attacks the weak. How weak are you today? Number 4, it walls it off because it wants to stop the inflammation from spreading, right? Number 5, stop the destruction of healthy tissue, because if it keeps going, it's going to destroy more tissue. Number 6, wall off the parasitical attack. We just talked about that. Number 7, wall off and slow down cancer. Because guess what? The more this spreads, the more inflammation you have, the more destruction of tissue you have. If the tissue loses 35% of its oxygen for a certain period, it doesn't want to die. So instead of dying, it becomes cancer tissue, because now it can live off of the sugar and the lactic acid that is being created from all the stress and the fear that you're living. And the other thing, number 8, scar tissue and calcium go to the area to deaden the pain. What did I say? Well, if you're not going to listen, you're not going to change. The body's got to deaden the pain, because that is weakening your immune system. You're losing way too much energy. So understand, this happens when we have a gut-brain disconnection. We go in and we beat up our gut. Take a look at the average person. They look like they're 3 months to 6 months pregnant. You can walk around and be rotting, and that's what you are. Okay? All right? So at least, I don't know, maybe 70, 80% of the population in their bowels are rotting out, okay? Their bowels are rotting out. That's why we stink. That's why we have stinky armpits, stinky breath, stinky poo, right? That's why we can't poo properly, right? And understand something. Your bacteria, which are in your gut, are called the second brain, but they're the real brain. Because this brain just runs programs, stores programs, gives us chemicals and hormones, creates programs. But understand something. It's your good bacteria in your large intestine that are the intelligence of your body. Remember, you got 50 trillion cells, but you got 500 trillion bacteria. And do you want to attack your bacteria? Well, then you're killing yourself. That's the bottom line. So understand this, okay? And you need to get this. Emotional blocks, okay? Remember this? Emotional blocks, because of the emotions you couldn't process, that you buried into the tissues of your body that vibrated at the same frequency as the dysfunctional emotions you couldn't process, get stored until you get the tools to be able to process them. So that's why we call it issues in your tissues. So emotional blocks create a snowball effect. Pimple to a cyst, to a tumor, to a fibroid. So pimple to a cyst, to a boil, fibroid or tumor. Tell me that's not what's happening, because that's what's happening. And you need to get this as well. The same fibrotic scar tissue found in a sports injury, post-surgery, or any scar tissue caused by the physical or emotional imbalance is the same scar tissue you would find in a tumor. So understand, the same scar tissue that's in other parts of the body that's causing you to feel stiff and pain and you're losing energy and movement is the same scar tissue that's in a tumor. But here's the deal. Medical doctors, they're trained not to recognize scar tissue until it becomes a fibroid or tumor. Tell me if I'm right. Tell me if I'm wrong. What do they say? We got it all. We cut the tumor out, but they didn't cut out the belief. Understand, there are no shortcuts, guys. Okay? So then you go, oh my God, they got it all. They cut out the tumor. They radiated it. Okay? Chemotherapy. But guess what? What happens most of the time? Guess who's back? That's right. There's nothing we can do. It's now metastasized. So understand something. Unless you deal with the issues in your tissues by going to your mind, okay, to change your mind, to recreate new beliefs, new thoughts, the domino effect of a so-called healthy human, well, first, guess what? Irritation. What's the irritation from? Well, not being able to process our emotions, not loving ourselves, protecting ourselves, respecting ourselves. That irritation leads to inflammation in our brain and then in our body. And then that leads to what? Crystallization, because of all the chemicals that we're dumping that are negative, they're not positive. That creates scar tissue because the scar tissue goes there to protect. And because inflammation is like a fire, it's taking your connective tissue and burning it up and making it like beef jerky. And then what happens is, because you're still on fire, you're going to pull calcium. And then you've got calcification. That calcification is walling off everything. And now you don't have proper circulation, which eventually you're going to have mutation. And you're going to have mutation because you have lack of nutrients, lack of oxygen, and you can't detoxify properly because of these physical blocks. And then it can lead to what? Radiation and maybe amputation. The average person in this country has 9.2 surgeries in a lifetime. How's that for beliefs? Okay, so surgery is the last option when you learn how to fly. And what does fly stands for? When you learn to first love yourself. That is the golden key right there. I'm telling you, if you take nothing away and you just take that, I'm telling you, your life will change today. It'll change in this very moment. So understand this. Inflammation nation. Inflammation is the cloak of invisibility. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay? Look at inflammation will protect the disease. It keeps the disease there. Inflammation is what protects the tumor, the cancer. If you get rid of inflammation, you pull the pants down on disease and you take your life back. But you can't get rid of inflammation until you are the master of your mind. And that means you're going to be the master of what you think, drink, and eat and do. Who are you? Are you the authentic you? So understand, inflammation equals scar tissue formation, crystallization, calcification, and then cellular mutation. That is the law. So get this. The C in cancer stands for corruption, conflict, and contamination. Remove the C and you have the answer. Time bomb to a tumor. Things will not change until your mind does, until you master your mind. So you have a choice right now. It's either going to be healthcare or self-care. It's either going to be self-hate or self-love. What's it going to be? Because understand something, frequency is everything. Where are you going to guide your body right now? So understand, even though we go into our mind and we go in and we change our thoughts and we create a new reality by changing parts of our personality, by truly learning how to love, honor, and respect ourselves. The older you are, the more scar tissue, the more displaced calcium, the more crystallization you're going to have. And I will tell you, I've been in the business now for 40 years. We have a technique called Wolf Non-Surgical. We offer a money-back guarantee. Whether you have a knee problem, whether you have an ankle problem, whether you have a hip problem, whether they think you have to go to surgery for this, whether you have a fibroid, whether you've had surgery and the scar tissue from that is choking off you, that you cannot poo properly, make love properly. It's actually causing scar tissue in your fallopian tubes, wrapping itself around your ovaries, whether it's causing prostate problems. No matter where the scar tissue is, I'll give you a money-back guarantee. And this is not a sales pitch, because the body heals itself, and we have forgot that God created the most amazing thing when God created you, and that your body will heal. And when they tell you that your knee is shot, that it's bone on bone, I'm telling you, no matter where it is, whether it's in your spine, your hip, your knee, your ankle, your shoulder, your neck, or anywhere else, that you still have the cartilage, you still have the tissue, but it's been calcified and crystallized. And guess what? We're going to show you how to bring that back. And that this beef jerky is going to leave, and we're going to show you how that's going to transform back to connective tissue. And that is it. Let me tell you, you may get older, but you do not need to get old. We have been sold that the human body has forgotten how to heal itself. And this is not true. We are the greatest healers when we unleash our potential to love, honor, and respect ourselves. So I've put a technique together. You come, and if my technique and I don't live up to my word, you don't pay us. So understand, why do I do this? Because I'm telling you that you have been sold a fraudulent program. We have what's called Wolf Non-Surgical. So surgery should be the last option when you're awake. When you're in an emergency situation, thank God for surgery. But understand something. Do you know how small the percentage is that people who really need surgery? What does a surgeon sell? Surgery. What does a pharmacist sell? Drugs. What does a medical doctor sell? Surgery, drugs, radiation, chemotherapy. Is the medical system into health? No, they are not. You need to get into health. You need to become your own doctor. Do not count on me. You need to challenge every person out there that says that they can help you with your health. Whether it's, and I don't care who it is, you need to challenge me. And I tell everyone, you challenge my work. Why do you think I put so much up there? Why do you think I have my library? So you can go in there and you can do your own research so that you can become your own practitioner. But understand something. You come to us for a personal treatment and training or come to take one of our certifications, and your life is going to change. Because unless somebody is giving your power back, then they're taking it. And if you go to a practitioner and you're more scared than when you leave, then guess what? That's fraudulent. It's not true. You're bigger than you think. Don't forget who created you and what you were created for. And that's all I have to say. So, I'm only going to take a few minutes at this. This is a beautiful girl, scoliosis. They were going to put a 4 to 6 inch rod. I can't remember exactly. This was 3 years ago. And they told her she'd never be able to ride again, and she's a champion rider. And guess what? That was before. Take a look at the first treatment. Look at the second treatment. She has no scoliosis today. They told her that she had to get an operation, and she was booked within weeks to go for this operation. I told her mother, we can do this. It's simple. We'll teach you how to work on your daughter, and she will never, ever go to surgery. And there's the truth. I'm prepared to give anybody their money back if I don't give what I promise. Because you know what? I can do it because I know who you are and you don't yet. So, web of destruction. So guess what? All this inflammation that happens in the mind first, then goes into the body because of choices that you make, is what's killing you. It's all this scar tissue. It's like, Grandpa, are you okay? And he's as stiff as a board. Are you in pain? He doesn't feel anything. Because guess what? The scar tissue and the calcium wraps around the nerves. Do you know how many people come to me and they say, I have stenosis in my spine, and they say the nerve is dead and now they want to do surgery? And I said, it's not. It's not dead. They can't see the nerve because it's calcified and it's got scar tissue. And we're going to go in there and bring it back. So understand something. Why am I talking about all this? Because you've been deceived on so many levels. You have no idea. You know what? Think about this. The greatest creation in the universe has to be lied to so much to bring its spirit down and crush it. So I can show you that almost in everything that you do, it has been watered down or twisted. So you have a choice. Process your emotions with self-love or bury them with self-hate and then mutate. That's it right there. So understand something. Scar tissue to a tumor. Healthy tissue becomes scar tissue first, but then it becomes a tumor. And there's the time bomb, but you don't know this. Who talks to you about scar tissue? There is not a practitioner that I know works on putting all the calcium back in your bone, which we know how to do, and to bring your bones back to health, and to change that scar tissue back into beautiful connective tissue. Those are the two things that are making you feel old, and that's why you're limping. For no other reason. That's the God's truth. So understand, inflammation creates 95% of all the scar tissue in the body. And guess what? The invisible creates the physical, and we can reverse this with your help if you decide you want this. So next Wednesday, April the 15th, I'm doing what's called clapping your lungs and heart for health. Join me at 3 o'clock if you want to start doing it. But unless you take massive personal action, I promise I will give you more do-it-yourself videos to take your life back. I have no intention except to love you, to care for you. And hopefully, I truly mean this, that you feel I'm trying to protect you from you until you find your authentic self. So inflammation is the cancer. Please get that, everyone. And you have to have an inflamed mind before an inflamed body. So, and I already said this, inflammation is cancer's cloak of invisibility. So unless you reduce the inflammation, you're not going to reduce the mutation. And for all of you women who have breast problems, God love you. But understand something. It happens in the mind. Before the actual inflammation that causes the breast cancer goes to the breast, it goes to your pelvis, your ovaries, your uterus. It's in the pelvis. So we will always work with the pelvis. And we have to look at the large intestine first that has been leaking waste all your life. Let me tell you, if you would have totally, everyone out there, if you would have totally respected, protected your large intestine, 85% of all the illness you have would have never existed. Don't believe me. The Royal Society of Medicine, they did a major study. They said, if you looked after your large intestine, 85% of all the illnesses, you'd never have them. Because unless you allow your sewer system, immune system, garden, which is the large intestine, the mother of all organs, to actually become dysfunctional, then you wouldn't be absorbing the waste. So how would you get infection into the body to create the inflammation? And we're an inflammation nation. So, why are the breasts in such trouble today? Well, because they're toxic storage tanks. That's what they are. They are toxic storage tanks. So they're made out of fat. And your body, do you know why people are getting fat today? So if you got 10 pounds, if you're overweight by 10 pounds, you're not overweight by 10 pounds. You have 10 pounds of fat tissue because you're storing the emotional and physical toxins that you cannot process. So instead of your body getting cancer or mutating or you getting an autoimmune disease, it says, what would you rather, a disease, or would you rather just get big? So you're going to get bigger, 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 bigger. So it's got to store the inflammation, and the inflammation is the toxins on an emotional and physical level. So once you learn how to become the master of your mind, you'll become the master of your body. You wouldn't need the extra weight, which is made out of fat cells. And when your body's exhausted and there's too much inflammation and it can't make the fat cells fast enough, the toxins go to the breast. And that's why they're the storage tanks. So first, what you get is breast inflammation. Then you get scar tissue formation. And then what do you get? You get fibroids. And then you get calcification, which when you get calcium deposits, whether it's in your gallbladder, whether it's in your kidneys or in your breasts, it's a sign that cancer's around the corner. But do not fear. Do not fear. You can change everything because you are amazing. Okay? So understand, things like this do not have to happen. They do not have to happen. And understand something. All you women out there, you bring life into the world. You have bells and whistles like no man has ever had. You are the canary in the coal mine. And understand something. You need to learn self-love, self-protection, self-trust, because you're the caretakers. And understand, when you have a body that is nature-made and steeped in total self-love, you will remain healthy. You will not have to worry about anything, right from menopausal symptoms to cancer. I'm telling you, this is the God's truth. So decide today, are you going to take your power back? So understand, everybody, image creates thought form, okay? And thought form creates physical form. So the invisible creates the physical. And wherever you find the growth on wherever part of the body It is the negative, toxic emotion that cannot be processed that will be stored in that area of the body, and it will mutate that body. Again, your body's talking to you. Before you had that growth, you had pain, you had inflammation, and you had swelling. But you didn't know body talk because you weren't taught. It's not your fault. We have no room for guilt here. Please learn. Let's move on. Let's become the master of that, which we so need is our body. So go check out my A to Z Wellness Guide. Check out all the videos. You'll understand about the physical body once you go through this. You can go to the Doc of Detox library, and if you want to watch all the videos, then you're going to have to send me an email to quickstart@docofdetox.com, and I will send you everything for free. My Braveheart course, my A to Z Wellness course, you will not pay one penny. And the information that you will learn, whether you decide to ever call us, utilize us, will be the greatest information you've ever taken away. And it's not because I'm great, it's because I know great people that have taught me properly. So understand this, if you want to take it further, come for our personal treatment and training. Go to the library, read the guide, see what you think. When you want to bring your family and learn everything that I know and become the practitioner, become the light for your family, you let me know. All right? And also, take a look at cancer and inflammation scar tissue issue in my library. There's lots of other guides there. And understand, we are here to guide you, and you are here to master your life. Never forget that. So, what's the deal? We need to drink light, eat light, think light, live light, because we are the light. We must become the light. Remember that walking, talking battery? Well, look for everything that has light energy in it. Whether it's people, whether it's food, whether it's drink. Go out and get your sun. Don't make them keep you in the house. Why are we shut up like this? Get out and get some sunlight. Get on the porch. Go for a walk. I'm not asking for you to break the laws. I'm just asking for you not to break the laws of the universe and nature, or you'll break yourself. So, don't forget, Braveheart breath. 6 seconds in, 7 seconds out, and every time you connect to something like that, you're going to connect to the present moment, and that's the only place that you have total power, is in the present. Not in the past, not in the future. You need to be here right now. You do not want to blow up. Now, go take a look at my 12 loving steps and practice mirror work. Do the Braveheart breathing, practice mirror work. If you can't look in your eyes and tell yourself that you love yourself, you're going to protect yourself, respect yourself, and honor yourself, then how are you going to do that for your family? And if you don't do that, how are you going to hold the line? How are you going to hold the line here? And the next thing I want you to do, I want you to practice the Braveheart countdown connection, the love band. 3, 2, 1, I got this. I went over this with you. All right? Order these for everyone. Let's start, okay, an evolution, not a revolution. If we evolve personally, if we believe in individualism, we will release our authentic selves. I don't want you to be me. I want you to be you, because I need you. You are unique and you are special. And when we come together, you are bringing something to the table that I am not. I'm telling you, we are family. We better come together. You better stop fighting with people. All right? Everyone, every different culture, every different language, every different religion, they're family. And you stop letting those people cause us to fight within each other. You don't fight with yourself anymore. You don't fight with your family. You don't fight with your neighbors, and you don't fight with other countries. You refuse to do that. There is enough room and enough food, and understand something. We need to stop going to war for these elite few. We're going to have to make a decision. Thriver or survivor. Because when you make that decision, you're not just making it for yourself, you're making it for your family too. All right? Okay? And here's what I want to do for you. My book, Healthy to 100. All you have to do is call the office. I'll send you up to 6 of them. 6. As long as you're going to share them with your family. All you do is pay the shipping. I'll do my part. I will show you that I'm invested in you. I need you. I need you to show up for my children. Will you please show up for my children? Also, don't forget the Doc of Detox show and Doc Talk. Every Friday or Monday, sometimes it switches. I do Q&As and I will answer all your questions. And I have brilliant people from all over the world that care about you, that want to share their information on my Doc of Detox show, or like I said, come on to my Doc Talk Q&A. Remember something, everyone. Unleash the unseen healer from within. You can do this. You can do this. Fear is an illusion. It's an illusion. You know what? The only thing that's going to cause us to not grow consciously, to not have our children or our children's children have any opportunities, is how much fear you're in right now. That will be the deciding factor. We need to learn how to create the perfect day every day. And if you want to get a start on this, email me at quickstart@docofdetox.com and spend 30 to 45 minutes every night with yourself or with your loved ones and start going through my information and start learning the Braveheart course. Start doing the 12 loving steps. You've been taught not to love yourself. You've been taught to dishonor yourself. And by doing that, and because you've been taught that all your life, you're allowing everyone else to dishonor you. And you can say, I don't know what I'm talking about. But people don't know they're asleep until they actually wake up. And I'll tell you, I've been doing this long enough to know this. I'm not telling you that I know everything. I'm just telling you I know that much. So you need to travel light. What does that mean? What does that mean? Have beautiful, beautiful thoughts inside your mind. And when you see something float by that's a negative thought, say, that's not mine. I don't own it. I'm not owning this. That's not me. Okay? 3, 2, 1, I got this. That is not me anymore. That's the old me. I got this. And then put a slight smile on your face. Connect to your breath. You need to live light. What does that mean? You need to drink everything that has lots of light in it, like structured water. You need to be doing vegetable juicing. You need to be doing blender drinks with fresh organic fruit, even frozen fruit. You need to be eating a whole plant-based diet. You need to be getting your sunlight, and you need to spread the light. Everywhere you go, I want you to leave smiles wherever you go so I can find you. Because you need to be the light, not the darkness. Enough of that, okay? You must stand out. If you're scared to stand out right now, we're in trouble. Where's the herd going? Where's the herd going? We are being sold off by the pound. Don't do this. Don't do this. You got this. I swear to God, you have this. Look at total self-love. Do you remember that little child? Do you remember the last time that you got up in the morning and you said, oh man, I just want to do a cartwheel. I love my life. You loved breathing. You loved smiling. You loved everything because everything was an adventure. Everything was a discovery. Don't let that go. Let the little child come out and play, okay? Take that kitty litter and make it into a sandbox, meaning your life, your world. Do it now. Do it for your family. Do it for you. Check out my Braveheart Way, the 12 loving steps. That's where I would start. I would really start there and really embrace it, okay? And what I want you to do is I want you to start talking positive to yourself from the minute you wake up until you go to bed and connect to your Creator. Connect to your breath. Be grateful. Show gratitude. And understand this. So I want to leave something with you today. And that's this. Remember what I said at the very beginning. Your thoughts are everything. So what are the thoughts you're going to have today? I want you to start your day. I want you to live your day. And I want you to end your day. Okay? as the Braveheart hero for you and your family. So let me leave you with this. I am love. I am healed. I am Braveheart. Today and every day, from the moment I rise until I gently close my eyes, I will trust, honor, respect, protect, forgive, and totally love myself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. Because I am, I can, I'm healed, I'm Braveheart. Now understand something. There is nothing selfish about this. But if you're not selfish enough to know what your needs are and what you need to hold the loving line for yourself and your family, then what does your future look like? Sit with yourself quietly right now. Connect to your breath and know that you are an infinite light energy being, and that you more than have this. God bless. Thank you for being with me. And understand something. Thank you for being with me. Let's stay together, because united we stand. Without that, our children will fall. God bless. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.